Then there's some of us, like me, who just dove off the cliff. No parachute, no glider. I didn't even have the accoutrements or the tools. I don't know how to make things anyway. I just jumped. Said, that looks pretty cool. That's insane. Thank you. But most of the people I've discovered are neither over the cliff or in the corner. They crawled over the edge of the cliff, and they grabbed onto a rope, and they spend their whole lives hanging onto that rope. And their whole focus every minute of every day is that rope. The only gratitude they have is that there's a rope there. So think about this if you're living your life that way. I got it. Oh, I'm living my dream. I'm so happy. Oh, my business, let me show you. Oh, wait. Oh, got to get my hands. The amazing solutions I have for you and your business. I can transform your business, but I got to watch this rope. Look at all the energy we're spending hanging on the rope. All in means let go of the rope. Either let go of the rope and soar, or go hang in the corner. I'm not going to judge you for being in the corner. But being in the middle and hanging on the rope isn't serving us. We're not all in. And being all in is scary. But every day when you look in the mirror, we need to tell ourselves the truth. Am I all in, or am I hanging around the edges? And that leads to the second concept. Tell the truth. Now, most of us are pretty honest. You know, we generally tell the truth, or our version of it. But who do we do a lousy job of telling the truth to? Ourselves. Oh, yeah, baby. We are master storytellers. We get up every morning, and whether we got a mirror or not, there's a mirror staring back at us, and the story goes something like this. So, Jeff, how you doing today? Oh, I'm really good. I'm really happy. Really? Can't tell. How's your business going? Oh, it's great, man. It's just rocking. Well, are you doing all you can to change and transform your lives and others? Oh, yeah, I'm all in, baby. I am all in. That mirror, though, looks back every day, and it's like the magic mirror from Disney, and it goes, Because here's the truth. If you look in the mirror every day and you tell the truth, then you walk out and you go, stay the course. More of the same. Keep going. Keep walking the talk. Keep living the talk. But when the mirror looks back and says, no, you're not, then you got to change something. But most of the world sees that image in the mirror every morning, and it's not the truth, and they go out and live the same life. And they do the same things, and they think the same way, and they hang out with the same people, and they ignore the reality of what's going on around them. It's time to tell the truth, folks. You know who else it's time to tell the truth to? The people in your lives. How many of you, raise your hands, don't point at anybody at the table, that's always embarrassing. How many of you, there's someone in your life that you're really close to, that there's something you'd like to tell them, but you haven't told them because you're afraid you're going to hurt their feelings or they're going to be upset? Who's got one? Yeah, look at that. But we love those people. We can't even tell the people we love the truth because we're afraid to lose them. We're afraid to hurt their feelings. But can we really hurt the feelings of someone we love? Not if it's real. It's time to tell the truth, folks. It is time to tell the truth. If you leave with nothing else today, remember that. It's time to tell the truth. And start with yourself and then share it with others. The truth is so powerful. And we live in a world that's all about little lies. And we tell ourselves a story that they're just little. But those little lives keep us living in this place that we don't belong, that we are much bigger than, much more worthy than. Think about a word. This is a word we don't talk about. How many of you believe you're powerful? How many of you believe you're powerful beyond even your imagination? Are we afraid to show that power in the world? Why? Because well, now see, there's an interesting one, the responsibility with it. A lot of us are afraid because we're afraid someone's going to judge us as egotistical. Do you all know there's a difference between power and ego? Is it hard to tell the difference sometimes? Yeah, but you know what? Our mission in life is to figure out the difference and step into our power and let our ego go. I got an ego on my shoulder. He talks to me all the time. I haven't named him yet because he's such a nuisance. People drive by me on the highway and they see my head turning, going like this. I'm talking to him. He's a nasty devil, man. He got me in a lot of trouble. Oh, look at me. Look at me blaming. The ego that sits here is not ours. Because where does our power come from in our body? Right here. Right in the heart. Where's ego come from? Told you, I want to get dumber every day. Because every day I get dumber, I get closer to my heart. So that gets to the next one. Be yourself. I talk to so many people, and I am blessed. As Lisa said, I have long conversations. Yeah, I don't do 20-minute coffees. I don't even do 45-minute coffees. 2.5, Lisa, you got cheated.
Darn it, we'll have to do it.
It'll be part 2 because, yeah, we have this sense of time and we don't allow ourselves to be fully present with people. And we don't show them who we really are. I was with a woman about a month ago, and she's an amazing lady. At the end of the conversation, I looked at her and I said, of all the people you meet, out of 10 people, how many of them do you show what you just showed me? She said, about 3. I said, what about the other 7? She said, I'm afraid. I'm afraid they're going to judge who I am, and they're not going to like me, or they're not going to want to hire me. And I said, here's the thing. The people you're meant to connect with need to see you. My number 1 advice to her is go show the world yourself. Tell the world the truth about who you really are. Live authentically. Is it scary? Sure, it's scary. Are there going to be people who are going to reject you? Absolutely. But the ones you connect with are going to be amazed by you. And that's where the magic is going to happen. And this gets to another word that's one of the most scary words we face. Be vulnerable. That's a scary word. You know what? I'm actually using that in a business setting. Can you believe that? Freaking people out. I've been using the 4-letter word too with them. What is it?
Fear.
Love. This is a business meeting, Jeff. Did you miss the memo? This is about profits. I know it is. But when we can come together, and this is the magic that I learned about 6 weeks ago. I was talking to a friend, and she was talking about staying in control, and she has a story. It's her core story, and she told me her story. I was blessed and honored she shared it with me. She said, Jeff, you're the first person who's ever heard this story. My husband doesn't know this story. I said, everybody needs to hear the story. She said, I'm afraid. I said, I know you're afraid, but everybody needs to hear this story because it's the essence of you. And we talked about the fear around it, and I asked her why she was afraid. She said, well, because in my world I need to stay in control, because if I open that up, I'm going to become emotional. I'm going to become vulnerable. And I said, Melanie, here's my question. When you meet someone who's in control or trying to stay in control, do you trust them more or less? She immediately said, less. And I said, when you meet someone who's vulnerable and open and authentic, do you trust them more or less? She said, oh, more. I said, so why are we spending every day working so hard to be less trustworthy? Because when we try to stay in control, we're less trustworthy. So we think it's giving us what we want, but in fact it's taking us further and further away. Be yourself. Be vulnerable. It is scary, but being all in is scary. And living the life you're meant to live is going to be scary. But look what happens when you gather with like-minded thinkers. There's this environment where it's safe, and the thing is, it's not just safe here, it's safe out there. You will find amazing numbers of people who want to step into that place too, but they need someone to open the door. My invitation is for you to start opening the door for others. Some will slam it in your face, but for the one that opens it, it's worth the slams. So the last thing I want to share with you seems simple, but I'm not sure we live it every day, or fully, or completely, or all in, and that is, be a giver. At your very core, not looking for anything in return, and giving first, and most important, giving when it's the hardest. When you don't have the money, when you don't have the time, when you have other things you should be focused on, or other people are saying, go do this. I just had an amazing personal experience from this. Some of you know this, some of you have probably received it. About a year ago, I started sending out an email every few weeks with job opportunities. People just kept telling me about jobs, and I said, well, I should share these. And I started sharing them with people I knew were looking, and I said, well, that's crazy. Let me share them with everybody I know with a simple request, pass it on. And people have said, Jeff, doesn't this take you time? I said, it actually does take me time. Well, Jeff, you need to go work on your business. Why are you helping people? Because it's the right thing to do. So here's what happened about 3 weeks ago. I get a phone call. I answer the phone. The way it started was kind of unusual. It was a woman's voice. She said, is this Jeff Nischwitz? I don't know, I don't usually get that question. I was thrown off. Yeah, it's me. She said, well, I just got this email from you. It's got an amazing quote in it, and I want to attribute it to you if it's yours. She read me the quote. It was amazing. I said, no, that's not mine. She said, well, it has to be yours. I said, well, I kind of know if it's mine. She said, no, this email's from you. And then she looked. She said, oh, no, it's not from you. It's from someone named Susan. How do you know Susan? She tells me her last name. I said, I don't know Susan. We started going down the list, and it turns out we ran out of the stream, the email stream. This is where it had been passed on and passed on and passed on. It was this jobs opportunity. So at this point, I'm going, this is really cool. So Terry, why are you calling me? Well, I want to get this quote figured out. I guess I'll just go research it. I said, so Terry, what do you do? She said, oh, I have my day job, but I'm an author. I said, well, you know, have you published anything? Kind of cocky. She said, yeah. I said, well, who published it? She said, Simon & Schuster. Boom. By the way, I have several books, you know, in mind. Hey, buddy. It's Simon & Schuster. Did you have an agent? Yeah, I had an agent. I said, so what was your book about? She said, it was about potty training. The next 5 minutes, she told me more about book publishing and marketing than I ever knew. It's something I wanted, but I didn't even ask for. It was delivered to me. But it started by a selfless act of putting that energy, that gift out, and there came the gift back. In a space I didn't expect it, I wasn't looking for it, but I was very grateful for it. See, that happens every day, but sometimes we don't pay attention to the gifts we're receiving. Because we're saying, well, I've been given and given, I didn't get anything. Oh, you're missing it. You got to look different, look deeper, open your eyes and open your heart. The gifts are coming back. So 4 simple philosophies. Show up, be all in. Tell the truth. Be yourself and vulnerable, and be a giver. You know, those of you who know me know I love movies. I am addicted to movies, and I actually believe that most movies, the movies have all our life lessons we need. And I was reconnected to a movie about a month ago called Peaceful Warrior. Anybody seen Peaceful Warrior? Whoa. I read the book 10 years ago, didn't get it. I saw the movie 5 years ago and kind of got it. No, now I get it. It's a story about this young man from Cal Berkeley in the 70s who's a world-class gymnast. And he's got a lot of personal issues. He's struggling with a lot of demons in his life. And he has a horrific accident, and he's told that he'll be lucky to walk again, but he'll never compete. And he has a guide, a teacher, a mentor, played by Nick Nolte, who he nicknamed Socrates, who guided him back to heal himself, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And at the end of the movie, he's competing at a high level, and they're telling the story about how he went through this horrific accident. How is he even here? But he doesn't hear the applause. He's in his own space. He's in the zone, so to speak. And he's standing there, not standing, he's in the rings. He performs in the ring. So his arms are outstretched, hanging there, and Nick Nolte's voice comes into his head and asks him 3 questions. Where are you? Here. What time is it? Now. What are you? This moment. And I listened to that, and I said, that's it. This moment. It's all we've ever had. It's all we'll ever have. There's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow, but where do we spend all our time? Regretting yesterday without learning, and planning for the future, hoping for the future, trying to figure out the future, trying to control the future. We got control of this right here. What we think, what we believe, and what we do in this moment. That's it. And this, for all of you, is our moment. It is time to stop waiting. It is time.